Paris, the city of love they call it. I was finally here, ready to explore its charming streets and soak in its beauty. My trip was everything I dreamt of: croissants for breakfast, leisurely walks along the Seine, and evenings spent in cozy cafes. But tonight the city felt different. It was darker, colder. I was stranded. My train back to the countryside village I was staying in was gone. I missed it, distracted by a charming vintage bookshop. How could I have been so careless? Now I was alone. The train station was nearly empty. Panic began to set in. My phone, my lifeline, was dead. The day's adventures had drained its battery. As if echoing my despair, the sky opened up. Rain poured down, washing away the remnants of the day's charm. I huddled under the awning of a closed bakery, the scent of stale bread a poor substitute for the warmth of my cozy B&B. I felt a wave of self-pity wash over me. Paris suddenly felt vast and unforgiving. This wasn't how my Parisian adventure was supposed to end. This wasn't how anything was supposed to be. Minutes ticked by, each one pushing me further into despair. Every car that splashed by seemed to mock my predicament. Just when I was about to resign myself to a long, cold night at the station, a voice startled me. "Mademoiselle, are you all right?" An elderly woman, her face etched with concern, stood beside me. Her umbrella, adorned with a cheerful pattern of pink roses, shielded me from the relentless rain. I stumbled over my words, explaining my situation, my voice laced with desperation. She listened patiently, her kind eyes never leaving mine. When I finished, she smiled gently and reached into her bag. "This is for you," she said, pressing a small folded piece of paper into my hand. "Someone once helped me when I needed it most. Now I help you." I unfolded the note, my heart pounding with a flicker of hope. It read simply, 42 Rue Saint-Paul, go, trust. The handwriting was elegant, almost calligraphic. It was a long shot, but it was the only shot I had. With a surge of newfound determination, I thanked the kind woman and stepped back out into the rain. Clutching the note like a lifeline, I started walking. The streets were nearly deserted now, the rain keeping even the most dedicated night owls indoors. Each step I took felt heavy, weighted with uncertainty. What was I doing? Walking into the Parisian night, guided by a mysterious note? It sounded crazy, even to me. But something told me to trust my instincts, to trust the woman's kindness. The streets began to look familiar. Cobblestone pathways, charmingly crooked lampposts. I was in the heart of the Marais district, an area I had explored earlier that day. And then I saw it. A warm, inviting glow spilled out onto the wet pavement. A small cafe, its windows fogged with condensation. And above the door a discreet sign, 42 Rue Saint-Paul. Hesitantly, I pushed open the door and stepped inside. The cafe was cozy and inviting, the air thick with the aroma of coffee and freshly baked bread. A fire crackled in the hearth, casting dancing shadows on the book-lined walls. At a small table near the window, a lone figure looked up as I entered. Our eyes met, and a wave of relief washed over me. It was the woman from the vintage bookshop, the one that had captivated my attention and made me miss my train. She smiled, a knowing look in her eyes. "I was wondering when you'd get here," she said, her voice warm and reassuring. "Come, sit. Let's have a cup of hot chocolate and you can tell me all about your day." As I settled into the chair across from her, the events of the night seemed to melt away. The rain continued to fall outside, but inside I was safe, surrounded by warmth and the promise of good conversation. I still didn't know her name or why she had helped me, but somehow it didn't matter. In that moment, all that mattered was the connection we shared, a connection forged in the heart of a Parisian rainstorm, guided by a mysterious note and a touch of serendipity. If this story touched you, like and subscribe for more.